Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Excuse me. And welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, July 15, 2025. After 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a time for change call tomorrow night, Wednesday, July 16th, after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. You want to make sure you're in a comfortable position. No outside distractions. Relaxed into your body. Still as a statue. Focused on your breath rising and falling. The majority of us on this planet, we're always seeking ways to relax. And some people talk about, I went on vacation. I went on vacation for about, 2 weeks or so, and I felt like I needed a vacation from my vacation after I got back. Were they relaxed? No. Believe it or not, research has shown that vacations are more stressful than not a vacation. Why is that? Well, people are in the ego mind. They start worrying about how much it's going to cost, how much they're spending, what they're doing. And then they're always thinking about the future of going back home and going to work. See, and how many people through the years have said, "I wish I had a couple more days just to get situated before I went back to work." From the vacation, R&R from the R&R. It's because we do not know how to relax. It's crazy, but it's true. Overworked nation. This country is overworked. American people are overworked. American people are stressed out, frazzled at the edges. And many are used to it, so it doesn't seem to be an issue to them because they've gotten used to it. They've gotten accustomed to being stretched and pulled and stressed and having different forms of overwhelm, and things get too much. Even things that are good get too much, and you feel overwhelmed. And sometimes our minds have trouble navigating these changes. The good news is that you have a choice. We always have a choice. You don't have to let chaotic feelings of, being overwhelmed and too much, this is too much, rule your existence. You can learn how to let go. We talk a lot about letting go and surrendering because it is our savior. For you to let go from stress, fear, anxiety, being overwhelmed, being overloaded, too many things going on all at once, where you can just say, you know what, universe, you can have all this. I'm surrendering it. Letting it go. Period. You may have to do that. You may find yourself doing it more than once during the course of a day, week, month, whatever. But the point is that you're doing it because you want to do it. You're not angry about it. You're not frustrated. You know that you don't care to have this weight. It feels like a weight. And you can, all these chaotic feelings that many of us have from time to time, chaotic feelings of overwhelm. we can learn to say to ourselves, just kind of kick back and relax and remain receptive to what this life has to offer you. You can choose to refocus your energies on what is healing and create a more relaxed, enjoyable way of living that deeply nourishes your body, mind, and soul. It's good to know that we humans can only reap the richest and most fulfilling rewards life has to offer when we are living life, and this now, from a relaxed, centered, and peaceful place. Now one might say, that's easy for you to say, but look at all this that I'm dealing with. How in the heck can I be relaxed and have a peaceful, be in a peaceful, centered place? You look at the eye of a storm. We all know what that is, right? We know the eye of a storm is super quiet. It's super easy. There's no noise or anything. And then all around it is just a constant, massive noise, chaotic. You look at the center of a hurricane, center of any storm, and you could figure it out. Now, most of us will get in the storm. We say we won't get in the storm, but we get in the storm. And then we become part of the storm, which is not fun. And none of us are exempt from that because we've all done it more than once. So, in order for any of us to transcend something, it helps to better understand it. So what really causes overwhelm? What does, when you get overloaded? Okay? And it could be the, in positive aspects, overloaded, or in between, or negative. It first originates from those deeper beliefs that say that we should or shouldn't. We should or shouldn't be experiencing something, and we judge the experience that we are having. It's almost like a knee-jerk response, where the doctor taps the knee and it, reflexes. Knee-jerk. It's basically what that means. And so, we should or shouldn't be experiencing something, and then we judge the experience that we are having. And overwhelm can often contain this internalized time pressure from, deadlines. And usually the deadlines that we have are done by us. Not a boss, but you place these deadlines on yourself. And this means you choose to have too much to do in too little time. Too much to do in too little time. And this is all about our promising to ourselves and under-delivering. And if and when we continue buying into all the things that our mind says you have to do, and how everything must be done as soon as possible, happiness can seem like an impossible dream. If and when you believe in all the ideas that your mind is constantly spinning around you like a spider web, you'll start feeling trapped in your life. I've talked to a lot of people, maybe you have too. They say that, that they feel kind of trapped, that all the exits and the doors they can't find, and they just feel trapped. I've heard people talk about they feel trapped in a relationship. They feel trapped in their job. They feel trapped in their lives. And thoughts are harmless in themselves. They're just thoughts. But see, it's when we latch onto our thoughts like a life preserver and believe that they are the true reality of our existence that suffering is created in our world. And if you are constantly chasing the illusions of your mind, you will simply end up tired, frustrated, and overwhelmed. Because that's what they are. They're illusions. The mind has been programmed. We all know that. I don't think that's a real secret on this planet. Those of us who are aware to a certain extent. The mind has been programmed to endlessly search, seek, and pillage to find happiness, fulfillment, and abundance in the outer world. It's pretty apparent when we look at stuff from afar. We're not judging, remember. We're just watching and viewing. It answers itself. There's no real arguing about it. It just answers itself. And endlessly. And the mind, it will never satisfy you and can only bring exhaustion. You ever felt that way? This is the perfect experience. So you will retire the mind and discover the infinite spiritual source of your being. Now remember, the mind is seeking all this, and the only way we find that true happiness and fulfillment our mind desperately seeks is to recognize that the God source is always here now. And when you connect with that peaceful stillness, that is who you truly are. You automatically feel a deep sense of fulfillment. And this is when you will naturally relax, see the futility of striving so hard for outer contentment. Imagine what it would be like to fully relax in this moment, this very now moment, and stop worrying so much about achieving something in the next moment. Simply choose to allow your mind and physical body to completely relax. You truly know that the now moment is perfect, and focus simply on what you are doing in each single second instead of the future. You will naturally start to relax. It is impossible to feel overwhelmed when you are completely present to the now and see the perfection of the now moment, because overwhelm is a feeling generated by future thoughts. So if you start to feel overwhelmed by your life, my suggestion is to simply stop and begin to practice the fine art of trusting the perfection of each moment as it arises. Whenever you start to feel overwhelmed, the best thing to do is to simply take a few deep breaths in. Most of us breathe in very shallow ways because we are constantly being driven by all of the thoughts our mind is throwing at us. Each time you take a deep breath, you relax your body-mind. And the more you breathe deeply, the more you naturally let go of feelings of stress and begin feeling more peaceful and centered about your life. Now, I think we kind of know the body may resist. See, maybe you've experienced this. I think we all have, more than once. The body may resist relaxation at first. Yet, if you imagine that everyone you love is looking at you with eyes of love, your body will eventually melt and let go. This universe is literally holding you and a warm cradle of love. It is taking care of all your needs. All you need to do is simply focus on relaxing your body, mind, so that you can receive all of this love and support. A relaxed body, mind, is a receptive one that is open to receiving support and help from this universe. The more receptive your body, mind is, the easier it is for you to navigate through your life. Now here's one technique that you can practice this week to help you completely relax, transcend, overwhelm, and finally find peace within. Every morning, as soon as you open your eyes, bring your attention to your breath. Notice how open, relaxed, and peaceful you are. You may be really relaxed or barely conscious that you're relaxed, yet just upon waking up, watch the breath during these precious moments. It will soon open you up to finding a sense of freedom and spaciousness inside you. Use this time to free your mind from all concerns and relax deeper into the spacious, creative energy that you truly are. Hang out in this spacious feeling as long as you can. And then during your day, take time to return to the memory of this feeling, to re-enter and explore this spacious feeling again. See, so you visit it, and then you revisit it. What we're doing is we're progressing towards identifying that we are divine perfection, that we are the only thing that is real. Everything else an illusion. And I know it's difficult for a lot of people to go, you're crazy. Look, I can go up, hug that tree, I can do this, I can do that, I can go swimming in the water, and you're telling me it's an illusion. Mm-hmm. What about the body? It too is an illusion. We create it to experience it. And it seems to us, since we do not have comparison, real. It's like thoughts, right? We all have these thoughts. We get inundated with thoughts. We have over 60,000 that the subconscious mind plays back at us every single day. One may ask, are those our thoughts? No. They're other people's thoughts. What are our thoughts? What are our pure, true thoughts? It's like in these meditations, when you're at ease, you relax into the body, you're as still as a statue, and you're focused on your breath rising and falling. That's where the power is. That's where the God is. The God is within the soul. The God is pure consciousness. This is why we do manifesting in that moment, in the now, in true heart-mindedness. That's where you're at. You're in heart-mindedness in the now. You have left behind, you have walked away from the ego mind. Because you know it's not where you're at in heart, mind, in the now. It doesn't exist there. And there's a lot of people say, oh, it's too drudgery. There's too much drudgery. It takes too long. And everything's okay for me now. I don't need to do that stuff. And it's because people have the wrong perception of they don't realize it's very easy, it's very simple, and it's very good for the body. Meditation is very good for the body. It's very good for the heart, circulatory system. I mean, if you can't relax your body, you're going to have issues. There is no doubt about it. You're going to have biological or organic issues with your body. Eventually, they're going to surface. In other words, you can't be stressed your whole life and not have something biologically, organically happen with that body you're in. And then you tend it accordingly with the knowledge that you have gained by researching, reviewing, and interacting with people that kind of have an idea on how that keep that body organically functioning in a healthy way. Everything that we do, it really, wouldn't it be great if we had the programming in the beginning that taught us that? That everything that we do, everything that we think we're creating, we create all that stuff. It's not like someone delivers it to your front door. That's what's created by you and nobody else. Oh no, I had nothing to do with that. They're the ones. No, you chose to be so on and so forth here, there, what? Where it was created. And they're creating their lives. So doesn't it make sense that aren't you going to create a life that you want? And sure, you're in deep gratitude for the very moment you're in. Your life is perfection. But you also direct and say, I deserve the best of everything. So does everybody else on this planet. That shouldn't even be a secret. I deserve the best of everything. So therefore, I am going to focus on the life that I want. Not a life that I don't really care for. And you see, what you're doing is you're shifting your focus. You're no longer going to focus on what you don't want with a life that you don't care to have. That's what happens. Because you're doing it. And then you decide, choice, again, you decide to say, you know what? I am going to focus over here, and from now on I'm just going to focus on things that I want. Is there anything wrong with that? No. Unfortunately for this civilization, this species, on this planet Earth, the majority focus on what they don't want. They focus on war, conflict, anger, hatred, segregation, separation. That's what they focus on. They don't focus on unity. They don't focus on love, tenderness. They don't focus on reverence, respect. They don't focus on that stuff. Does it make sense to expend your energy on an ongoing basis on all the negatives, all the lower vibrational frequencies? Man, that gets old fast. And then you don't care to be steeped in it for this entire life, however long that is. So you're the master and commander, but you do not know that you're the master and commander. You don't know it. And then you might get the inclination that, yeah, maybe I am the master and commander. That's a start. Still doubt there, though. You've got to be firm in your conviction and commitment that you are master and commander of your life and everything in it. You realize, as I've said numerous times, you can once you get to the clarity and the awareness of who and what you are, you can plug into all of the knowledge, every bit of it. What does that mean? It means that all the sages, all the saints, all the gurus, all the philosophers, throughout all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, forever, you can plug into that. You would know what they know. Only way this can happen is that we're one. We're not separate. The illusion is given of separation, but we're not separate. You have a friend, you and your friend seem to be separate, right? Different tastes in clothes, different tastes in foods and stuff like that. So you're convinced that you're separate. And so the ego mind accepts the fact that you're separate. Other people accept the fact that you're separate. And all along, you're not separate at all. It's like I've expressed that we're in this huge ocean, endless ocean, golden white ocean, and we all hold the essence of that ocean, even though we're drops of it. And when we drop into the ocean, we become the ocean. And all of us make up that ocean. And so when I say we're God, we are God. There's no other. We are God. God is the one. And all of us, we make up the one. This is when we call collective consciousness, because God is pure consciousness. Okay? We call God here. We have a lot of different names for it throughout the galaxy and throughout the universes. But it's pure consciousness. It is divine perfection consciousness that's generated from all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. That's what generates it. And this is how things are created. This is how universes and solar systems and planets and all of it, stars, which are basically suns, are created. And this massive amount of information and experience that the collective consciousness continually interacts with. And more of us are created from the God so that we can experience more things. And we're always experiencing more things. We never stop. And so you learn because you want to learn, not because you have to learn. You want to learn to experience ease. You want to feel what it's like to be at ease and not stressed. Stressing is different levels, as we all know. Right? And then you move into the awareness that everything you desire is yours. You've got to identify the fact that you're always in doubt, some form or shape of doubt that causes you to negate your manifestation. And you go, darn it, why is that happening? Doubt. None of us are exempt from it. So it negates it. You know, when you're focused on an even keel, in other words, confidence, faith, trust in yourself and this universe, and then you have all this interference and stuff through experience, right? You really, really, really have got to connect yourself with pure positivity, period. No matter what's going on, no matter who's saying what, no matter what has happened with your experiences, where they might have all gone south, and then you get a little tainted, and you think, and then you start thinking immediately if something else shows up, and you go, okay, we'll see. But you got to feel it. Can't just wing it. You got to feel it, and you let it go. See, a lot of us won't let go of things, so then we start building expectations and attachments to whatever it is. And then, when it doesn't occur, we are what? Disappointed. We suffer. As long as you stay with the ego mind, you're going to suffer throughout this life. As long as you stay with the ego mind, you're going to suffer throughout this life. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And so this is another reason for the meditation, is to master the ego mind. Now one might say it's easier said than done. Well, sure, because right, we were born with it. into these bodies. We inherit it with these bodies. And then the fun thing is that when those of us who discover that you say to yourself, I am not my ego mind. And then you begin to discipline the ego mind through the heart mind. And so in this meditation, you're in the heart mind. So how do you discipline the ego mind? By watching it and finding out what it does and what it's about. What are the thoughts it generates and causes you to become a sufferer? You stand there, you have a choice. Over here with heart-mindedness, you have bliss, joy, happiness, no suffering, no worrying, and no stress. Okay? Now over here with the ego mind, you've got worry, stress, fear, anxiety, anger, greed, manipulation, all this stuff. Isn't it interesting that we choose that stuff and not the stuff over here? The peace, the joy, the bliss, the happiness, the tranquility. There's the bridge. It's tough to make that transition because we're so used to it and we've become comfortable with it. We're comfortable with it. It's kind of like our little nest. And we're not interested in disturbing the nest, so we live it. And this is where you hear people say, well, that's life. It's the way life is. I was dealt this deck, I was dealt these cards, now I'm just going to accept it. Wow. Okay. So the ego mind wins. And we all of us, have the opportunity to make the decision to not be mastered, guided, and led, and influenced by the ego mind, but to be mastered, guided, and led by the God that you are, through heart-mindedness. It is amazing that we're able to talk about all this and not take it for granted, that we're aware enough that we're identifying things not through judgment, but through awareness. It's saying, I can change this. I can shift this. I am an omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant being that never dies. So I can shift all this. I created this over here. So there's no reason why I can't create this over here. It's a trust in yourself. Faith in yourself. Confidence in yourself. Through heart-mindedness. Your vibrational frequency increases. Goes way up. You like it. So you make a concerted effort to have it stay there. Right? You have a concerted effort for it to stay there. You don't care to have it digress. You want it to be permanent. And that's your motivation. So you know now that when the ego mind comes in and says, hey, Jim, look over here. You'll put that big neon stop sign up and say, stop, ego mind, you are not in charge. And the ego mind will step aside. Doesn't mean it's going to go away. It'll just keep picking at you. But that's fine. Because then it hones and strengthens your resolve, so that you stay more and more in heart-mindedness and not ego-mind. Then you say to ego mind, follow me. This is when you're in heart-mind. Ego mind, follow me, and I will show you infinite peace. Because after all, that's what the ego mind is seeking. Infinite peace. And it believes it's outside of you. It doesn't believe that it's inside you. Right? It doesn't know that it's part of the God. This is why we talk about it so much. It's so imperative. This planet would not be experiencing what it's been experiencing for the last several million years had we had mastered the ego mind. That's it in a nutshell. There's no debating it. That's exactly why. Anything that you identify on this planet that you feel irritated about, okay, but yet you don't get into it. You just leave it alone. You surrender it. Is due to this civilization focusing on what it doesn't want. And also, we know, when we're all one, how can we be separate? The separation is an illusion. Why is it that we don't become one in unity? Isn't that crazy? We have, yeah, okay, so the bodies all look different and everything, but we're all gods in the body. We're all one. We make up the one God, the universal consciousness. And yet, because of ego mind, we're separate. We're under the illusion of separation. We're under the illusion of de-unification. Imagine what happened in our country if all of us were unified, that we were good with each other, we were good with working with each other, that we knew our responsibilities as members of this unity and as stewards of this country. Think about it during the quiet time of this meditation. And how can you implement it? I'll join you in meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into the body. Focus on your breath rising and falling. You're in the perfect place at the perfect time, and the perfect time. Did you know that when you stop trying to get somewhere better than this moment of your life, you'll experience a type of heaven on earth? It's true. So now is the time to let go of all this striving and simply relax into seeing that everything is perfect and exactly the way it should be. The moment you realize that this universe cannot ever, ever, ever make a mistake, you'll know in your heart that you are always in the perfect place at the perfect time. You have been searching and seeking to satisfy your desires for lifetimes and lifetime. You are exhausted and you just need some time to chill out. Try taking a mini break from desiring anything. It comes with a real sensation of inner peace, deep ecstatic bliss, immense joy, and an everlasting smile on top. Trust me, the most amazing things will instantly manifest for you. By allowing your mind to take a long vacation from its perpetual search and recognize the perfection that's already here now. Always remember, you are so loved. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, following morning. We'll return here Wednesday, July 16, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call, and after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our time for change call. Be gentle, kind, generous, humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart. Allow the magic to flow in.